Hi guys, this is Carl here from Elite Performance Institute. I'm just going to take this short video to have a little look at some max velocity speed mechanics. The coach we have in question is a coach who just recently attended our Phase 2 course in Brunel University, London, and he is a professional rugby player who also is an S&C coach. So we're going to have a little look at just some key points that we want to try and identify as coaches. And what we do at EPI is we break down the sprinting mechanics into front and backside mechanics, which not only helps us as coaches, but also coaches who attend our courses, so that they can start to identify some key points that they now can look for when they're identifying their athletes or their players or their clients sprinting. So I'm going to just roll the video on in real time, and then we'll have a little look in slow motion, and from there we can start to identify some of these key points. So let's start to have a little look now in slow motion, and we're just going to bring it forward so that we can see the athlete sprinting more after really around 15 meters or so. So really when he comes past this cone now, he's getting into his upright mechanics mode. So as we said, we want to try and bring in front and backside mechanics, just so that you start to understand a little bit more about what is front and backside mechanics. Well, essentially everything in behind that line is going to be the athlete's backside mechanics, and then everything in front of that line is frontside mechanics. So what we would now want to see in his backside mechanics is what is the swing leg beginning to do in early swing phase. So just after he toes off, what does that leg start to do? Now what we want to see is we want to see that heel being active, and we want to see the heel being brought underneath the glute in an active manner. So it's not, as we call it, left out the back. So we will bring it through and just see how he then starts to pull that heel underneath the glute. And he's done that pretty well. It's not, perfect, but it's nearly there. So for him, he only has to do about an extra 15-20% of work in order to get that perfect. So I'd be very happy with that, with just some small improvements. From there, we're looking to then go and see, from a frontside mechanics perspective, what's happening from a frontside mechanics. So what does the leg now do in frontside mechanics? And there's a few key points what we would like to see. We'd like to see the thigh pointing forward, and we can see that there the angle is very good. He's got a nice high thigh position with the knee pointing forward. We then want to see the shin angle not overextend into a negative shin angle. So we want to see the shin remaining positive just as he begins to bring the thigh in a downward angle. And he's done that also very well. He's preserved a very good shin angle, where sometimes sub-elite athletes will start to overstride and reach too far in front. We're also looking for a hand position that would be nice and high, and he's bringing his hands up to a chin level, which is also very good, whilst maintaining a right angle of his backside arm. So in this case, his right arm is brought through to a chin level, and his left arm is being preserved at 90 degrees, which is also very good. The strike of the foot, in this case the athlete's left foot, we want to see to be close to his center of mass. So we can see that strike now has come down just about there, and it's quite close to his center of mass, underneath his hips essentially. So that's also pretty good. So that means that this athlete is not applying any sort of negative force upon himself. He's not applying what we call a braking force. So that's really down to his ability to maintain a positive shin angle. So guys, there's just a few key points that you can start to identify in your athletes who are sprinting past, performing maybe some max velocity sprints, and Some of them, as you may be aware, may be doing things incorrectly, but you're a little bit unsure about what they're doing wrong. So there's a few simple key points which we show on the course, which is for coaching max velocity performance. Okay, that's fine. That's it for now. We'll talk soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.